Good morning, Year 4. This is the Tuesday maths lesson for Group A. Today we are going to be making equal groups using grouping. Okay, so we have got some counters here and we are going to be making equal groups of 2 using those counters. So we're going to be putting them into groups of 2. So we need to group them into 2s. So let's start with the first 2 counters and we can circle those together. Now that is one group and there are 2 counters in that group. Let's see how many more groups we can make. Okay, look at the next 2 counters. That's another group. And then there are 2 more counters. So with those counters, we have made 1, 2, 3 groups of 2. So we could write 6 divided into groups of 2 equals 3 groups. Okay, let's have a look at our next example. Now we're being asked to make groups of 3. So we need to group our counters into 3s. This time I'm going to drag them. So I need to do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how many more groups of 3 we can make. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got groups of 3. How many have we got? Let's count. We've got 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3, 4 groups of 3, and 5 groups of 3. So at the beginning we had 15 counters and we split them into groups of 3, which meant we now have 5 equal groups. Okay, let's have a look at this question. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 counters. And we need to put those 16 counters into equal groups of 4 this time. So I'm going to, again, drag them into groups of 4. I am sharing. No, I'm not sharing. I'm grouping them into groups of 4. Okay, so far we've got 2 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we can get another equal group. So a group of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each of my groups has 4 counters in because we are making equal groups of 4. So we've got 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. So my 16 counters were made into equal groups of 4, and we have 4 groups of equal size. Okay, let's have a look now. I'm going to see if you can have a go at this question. So how many equal groups of 3 can I make with 12 counters? So you've got 12 counters here. How many equal groups of 3 can you make? Pause the video now and then come back once you've had to go yourself. Okay, so we're trying to make equal groups of 3. Let's see if you did it this way. I'm going to drag my groups of 3 down to here. So that's 1 group. Remember, they all have to have 3 in it. They are equal groups. That's 2 groups. Oops, made a mistake there. I can't have more than 3 in my group, so I must start a new one. 1, 2, 3. Let's double check. So they've all got 3 in them. So that's 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3, and 4 groups of 3. So you should have 12 counters into equal groups of 3, which meant there are 4 groups. Okay, one last question now. How many equal groups of 5 can you make with 20? So again, pause the video. How many equal groups of 5 can you make with these 20 counters? Okay, so again, I'm going to make it into equal groups of 5. So I can't put more than 5 in my group, and I can't put less than 5 either. It's got to be exactly 5 because we are grouping equally. So that's one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do another group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we can make one final equal group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we had 20 counters all together and we split them into equal groups of 5. Now we've got one group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5, and 4 groups of 5. So 20 split into equal groups of 5 means we can have 4 groups. Okay, over to you. I'd like you to have a go at the worksheet. Now I'm going to show you what that worksheet looks like now. Okay, so you're going to have a look at this worksheet here. So for the first question, you look at the socks and need to match the pairs of socks together, so the socks that look the same. Then you have to complete the sentences. So there are socks all together. There are socks in each pair. There are pairs of socks. Then you're going to have a look at these counters and circle them into groups of 2. And then again, you need to complete the sentences. There are counters all together. There are equal groups of 2 counters. For the third question, the counters have already been split into groups. So your job is to fill in these sentences. There are counters all together. There are equal groups of counters. And in the second part of the question, again, they have already been split into equal groups. You need to fill in the blanks. There are counters all together. There are equal groups of counters. And then the final question, you haven't got any counters, but you could draw some to help you. So it says you've got 30 counters and it's asking you how many equal groups of 2 can you make? Then start again with your 30 counters. How many equal groups of 5 can you make? And then the final question is how many equal groups of 10 can you make? Now, if you need to borrow some counters from school, you just need to ask and we can get some ready for you. Once you've had a go at these questions, then there's another challenge for you to have a go at too.